Maybe the screen is being lazy and I'm going to have to wait till I get to saw bench. Listen to that Nash. Magnificent, wonderful. Oh, total safety in his car with him driving, I tell you. Great excitement. Smiles and drives it. Right, I haven't got any on my screen, I'm afraid. I can't tell you what's happening in the S's. In fact, here he comes. Nicely through. Ooh, lovely. Corrected it beautifully. Little flick of the tail end. Straight through to Martini. One of the little Austin single-seaters going up there, which must be the Riley 1240 Cotton. Nicely sounded, because earlier on this morning they were a little concerned it was an unfettered machine and it was being difficult. But that sounded superb to me. Right, Robert Cobden, the Falcon Special, should be, I think. Yes, it is. Robert won't hold back either. Right, let me see if I can pick it up again for you. I think I've only got a saw bench now, I'm afraid, on your screen. Oh no, I've got the shot of the bluebells now. They look beautiful. Through the S's. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm back on screen again now. Coming up to saw bench with Robert. Yes, Robert, I think he can tidy that up next time just a little. He'd have lost point something in that one. Right, last. I've got 160, then we're coming into the BSA Wellesley Special. To confound you, most of us know where the engine is, either front or back. Well, this one's got one front and one back. Both have independent gearboxes. Independent everything, actually. So the trick is to get everything working together. I mean, that is really a special and a half. Standard 1000cc BSA motorbike engine, which of course made in Birmingham, part of the big BSA group, BSA bicycles, BSA motorbikes, BSA rifles. Come on, BSA. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we going. Yes. Yes. Now we have got AC Cognac on the line. This Tony Lee's was the outright class vintage record back in 2016. 47.55. Jolien is driving her today. It's part and parcel of his wonderful stable. Very enthusiastic individual with all VSCC and all pre-1939 cars. Love to show you the car. Freddie Giles, of course, was one of the great exponents of this particular car. Tony Lee's had it for a good period of time. Little pre-selector. Now listen to them opening it up. Beautiful piece of special. It's almost a bit cruel to call it a special. Followed by Edmond, the Type 51, 2.3 Bugatti, supercharged, 1932. 49.5 is his handicap. The conversation I had with him at pre-lunch, or pre-everything really today, gave you just an indication of his interest both in this period and of course more modern. What are we pausing for? Just the green light. I have a feeling we've got a stoppage up at out. Oh, that's better, thank you, gentlemen. Looks as though it's a stoppage rather than anything else. Yeah, it's being turned round and she'll be coming back. I have to admit, when she disappeared out of my view, there was nothing wrong. Maybe that was something further up the hill with regards to the BSA. The BSA was going a little slowly, which would suggest that might have been a mechanical. Yes, it is. Yes, the BSA and Cognac are facing off each other at the moment. The marshals are pushing it, but it's quite steep just there, and he's got to turn round and get back on the track. Has he got enough room to move? It goes over the edge just a bit there, doesn't it, boys? You've got to be really careful. Yeah, that would suggest we had a mechanical hiccup from the BSA. The chairman were calling him in on Monday morning to ask him what's wrong, weren't they? Send you down to Wiscombe, boy, and what did you do? You disgraced yourself. Dearie, dear, dear. Never mind, you're in good company. Diana, one of our clerks of the course, doing a nice jog down there. Yep, checking out on everybody. She's a very firm and straight administrator. Are you not, Diana? She's ignoring me, you can see. I'll be told off later. Yes, the BSA has been parked up in the little cutout as you come to whiz on the right hand side where the various marshals are. Cognac is being levered forwards. This is where the marshals need a little help. There are only 3 of them. They're going to turn him round, give him the other opportunity. Yeah. Turn left hand down, sir, and then you'll be able to run off, then back up on the start line. So Ed will be sitting there waiting, followed by 114. Oh, I beg your pardon, 161, I do beg your pardon. 164, I'm sorry, the pole's in front of me, I do beg your pardon. I thought that can't be a Type 35B. Not in that colour, not in that shape. That's Ian Baxter in that thumping rate outer, single-seater. Ex-Abacassis car. FTD several times on all our tracks. Farmer from Somerset. As I chuckled to him, seeing him this morning, major fortune last year in wheat prices. Big smile. He's bought himself a Cooper single-seater, which he exercised at. There we go. Cognac. Let's pick him up on the screen. Coming into the gate. First start of the S's. Nicely through. Coming up to saw bench. Let's see how he tackles saw bench. Nicely, nicely, nicely. Kept a lot of power on, but just a bit tight on that front wheel, just touching the concrete outside. Nicely finished, lovely swerve through Martini, beautiful, really kept the power on. Martini does have an escape route actually, if you lose courage and think, I'm just not going to make it. Right, there we go. All of the best of a Type 35 5:51. Nicely through Ed. Beautifully slid through there. Lots of grip, he was saying this morning on this new tarmac. Coming up to saw bench is going to be a very quick time indeed. Nicely round saw bench, beautifully controlled, yep. Hammer down for the straight. Let's see how he finishes it off with a flourish. Yep, I think he'll be happy with that time. Of course, I can't give you that because the tape has run out here and the screen on the right is in green with the sun streaming through. So even with Eagle Specsavers, not that I have them, I can't give you the time, but I will when we finish this first section. Right, let's see how the altar goes. The big one, that is Go on, Humphrey. Yeah, nicely through, David. Coming up the saw bench. This is the time where he and his father have gone through here so many times. Beautiful, lots of power. Remember, this has got a pre-selector, slightly slow off the first. As I was checking this morning, the band on the pre-selector, which is made of asbestos, was slipping, so he had to start from second gear, hence why he didn't have the acceleration that you would normally expect Humphrey or any ERA to take off from the line. So it was slightly slow, but he could only start in second. If you ever looked at the complication of a pre-selector, and of course the fabric that they had made them with, which was a form of asbestos coning, no longer can be made. Although I did talk to him, I have a book at home which I found years ago, made by the construction company. It might have a plan and a specification you could possibly have made up for you. Right, this is between the three of them. We've got possibly FTD here, boys. Come on, Julian. Let's see how you get in the single seat. Da. Nicely through. Yep, quick flick through. Nicely right on the margin of the S's. Coming up to saw bench very quickly, quick stamp, nice wide turn, kept the power on. Lovely, right way on the left hand side, didn't lose any power at all. Thumping down, castle, and then we're going to very quickly approach Martini. Where are we? Martini, finish, done. I think I put my money on those three. Not really a fair bet, is it, actually? Come on, Spike, you're not this wonderful Connaught A7, 1952. Beautiful shape. Moss tried the Connaught, the three cars, the Connaught, the Maserati, and the BRM. And the description of each he accurately gave to all those sitting around the dinner, and the decision was made of that dinner party that it was going to be the Maserati for various reasons, and of course it was a successful season for him in the Maserati, or put it this way, more successful than it would have been in the other two respective cars. Right, we've got Christopher Pring in the Allard J2. These, of course, were great touring cars and great competing cars on long tours. That was close to the bridge. It's a big car there, isn't it? Big 3.6. Christopher was with us the other day for one of our schools at Prescott. Thoroughly enjoyed it, he said. Learnt a lot. Drove there and put it on the trailer and then brought it back here. It's been on the trailer since Prescott on Wednesday. First of the lovely Jaguars, 120, 140, 150, 150S. the great successes that they have. Salvadori and Moss competing at places like Donington and Brands Hatch. I always think the diminutive 140 was it was neither pretty or ugly. It was that sort of middle range. 150 was svelte and slightly larger engine with the up to the 3.8 S. Coupe would be nice. Navy blue with navy blue upholstery.
Attention paddock. Can we have all cars in classes 1 and 2 to the assembly area now, please? That's all cars in classes 1 and 2 to the assembly area now, please. Also, just to keep you on your toes, you've had 3 runs to work out what batch you're supposed to be running in, so what we're going to do is change it to make sure you're still okay. In order to save a little time this afternoon, we're running slightly bigger batches, so please make sure you're listening out for announcements and following the instructions of the marshals. Thank you.
Right, Michael Scott following in the Fraser-Nash Le Mans. This is the one, of course, with the BMW 2-litre engine, which probably is very similar to the Cooper Bristol 2-litre engine, which was produced in Bristol itself and became a very important component part for the Cooper Bristols that we see now racing. In fact, at Silverstone we saw Jonathan Cobb racing in the 2-seater, which was Crook, who was the owner of that wonderful machine and wonderful car company. Great machine that would be, you know. Spend your summer holiday travelling around Europe in the hill climbs and sprints. Small suitcase in the back, as long as you can email the wife and say where you are. Of course, it could be the wife going. Wow, that was a very sexist. I apologise. That could be the wife going, not the husband. They're just as good as mechanics and driving. Lara Plattman, who is one of the invitees at various commentaries with myself, is producing something called Fast Ladies, which is a very careful analysis of the pre-39 historic women drivers who competed both in Delahaye's, trials, and competed on totally and utterly equal terms with the boys, and in many respects have been partially forgotten in the history books. So between the two of us, we've started digging around and producing some extraordinary tales and interests, which we hope we'll be able to announce and produce later on, called Fast Ladies. Well, that would suggest, as you just heard, we're now going to be running larger batches. Just to add to my complication here in the box. Thank you. I wonder how big the batches are going to be. Anyway, I know we can start with class 1. As soon as the boys come down. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go across, if I may, to the box and collect, if I can, some of the times that we've had today, because I haven't got the ability to be able to give you at least the first and second in their respective classes at the moment, which I apologise for. So give me 5 minutes while I walk across or run across and get those. Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they've given me the event run times and the first lot of drivers, but I've also been reminded that, as you know, when you have a gap in a hill climb or a sprint or racing, whatever, I have a perchance to give you what I think should be the recipe of the day. Well, this is the University of Three Ages, apparently. It's a Spanish dessert, which is called Basque burnt cheese cake. 1 kilo soft cheese, which you can mascarpone or an English cheese, between the two. 7 eggs, of course, Devonshire eggs, so they're nice and big brown jobs. 4 grams of sugar, 200 of cream. Well, it's got to be Devonshire cream, no. Can't go across the county. 1 tablespoon of flour, non-risey job, straight flour. Whack it in a large bowl, mix it up, pour it into a 10-inch spring-lined tin, a nice lined tin, otherwise it'll crisp up and fall in on itself. Pop it in the oven, probably 180 fan, nice golden glow, bring it out, leave it, and eat it. Oh, yum. There you are. Take that home. So, where are we now? First run for looks like Baxter, is it? He sneaked in 1:50. Shared one, of course, La Gondola Ripia with husband. This is Hans. Starting correctly in terms of Class 1 standard. Best run time so far in this is Williams Marsh of 61.30. Clear winner at the moment on that, Class 1, so let's see how as we go down, let's see what the improvements are. Tickling along in second place would be Louis Parkin, 64.75, so as it got a little cooler, let's see if those runs are improved or Number 3's come up to the start line, edged over the top, just an inch or two. Because remember that start line is on a little run, so there's always a slight hesitation to see the car come forward and roll a couple of inches, but it will break the make and break. Very first time that make and break was made, I think it was in Southport in 19... Wow, got that corrected. It was a definitive look at that bridge on the right hand side. That's made of Devonshire. We've gone very slowly. I think we've missed a gear. We're not very happy. Not happy at all. Okay, and we'll wait and see. Wait and see. Wait and see. He's slowly coming towards. Yeah, he's coming through slowly. sashaying his way through the S's. Most of this section now is out of the strong sunlight, so it gives the opportunity for the driver to see precisely where he was and is. A little earlier on it was more difficult, particularly coming up to Sawbench. The sun was really glistening into the eyes of the drivers in a very wide turn into, I miss Vicky Sly, I think. I beg pardon, Vicky might be there. Coming down the Rhine is James Baxter in the Riley Brooklands. This one is in a good naval blue. Slightly diminutive tail as opposed to the Nigel Dowding Brooklands, which got much longer scale. Well, we'll manage. Number 14 is Andrew Messant, the Morgan Super Aero. Leading the class in Class 10 at the moment. While Longwood would be Hans Theodore in the Nash, 49.80. Pipping Christopher de Boer, the 55s, 55.39. Right, let's see how the little Morgan, number 14, goes. Beg your pardon, Class 2. I've been given a sheet there which was incorrect. Good element of smoke. Poof! Give you an extra pound of thrust. Number 1-3. As you will appreciate, I'm trying to pick up cars as they come immediately in front of me, because they don't come up on the screen in the start line, so I've got to catch them as they come in front of me. Number 18 is Nigel in the Brooklands Riley. So Class 2, our best time so far on their very first one was a 58.95 with Austin Supersports. Clive Bergman. Fergus Gunn, number 11, coming up to the line in Austin 7 Ulster. His first time was a 59.79. So he's got a couple of points, but at the moment he will be settling comfortably in second place. Power down on the start line. Nice line through Wiz. Picked up second. Then we've got the Lee Francis Ulster Open after Justin Mayers in the GN Touring. Certainly sound like a GN. Like the way the windscreen is open, so gives him perfect balance of airflow. And We're jumping to number 30, which is the first of the two Lagondas here today. 1650 with Paul Ginnings. That would look like Class 6. Let's find Class 6 in the strip of paper they give me. I've only got one time here for you on Class 6. That's the Hudson Spikins Special, Neil Thorpe. I haven't got any other prints off on that one, so that doesn't give you a comparison who is going to be the fastest in Class 6. I think this is a case where I would have to spot it for you. It's going to be either Alex Pilkington or Neil Thorpe in the Hudson Spikings, between the Alpha and a solid British car. Mind you, Rebecca's done a good time of her originally as handicapped 56.5, so who knows, she might catch up. Well done, Rebecca, give it a bit of stick, kiddo. Here's a Longstone man coming up the hill. Come on, stride up, young man. That's better, good stride. I can see there's a bit of tummy developing over there. Yeah, lose a pound or two. Yeah, that's it. I know it's so unfair, isn't it? I know. Yes, I know. You can't retreat. Chase him up the hill, Rebecca. Right, where are we? Got to be a Lee Francis. It's either the Hyper or the S-type Hyper. I think I'm going to put my number on the Hyper, which is Graham White. Graham has a great campaign in the winter months, in the winter trials, Cotswold trial, the Welsh trial, Scottish one occasionally, the Lakelands, which is a cracking one up in the Lake District, which is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And there's a new trial, isn't there? The Diffie trial. I haven't had a report back on that. I thought it was a lovely idea to give a memory of young Diffie in terms of a trial. Waiting for the green light for Graham. Michael Pallet and the Lee Francis just behind him in the shadow of the tree. Green light on, that means we're off. Yes, you can go, sir. Go and enjoy. Smoke. Held it into first. Second gear, 160, 70 yards up, which is good. Here we are, the Hyper S. You'll hear the supercharger just as he comes through whiz, and then really picks it up. I trust somebody spoke to Yushan with the Bugatti Type 44. I've singularly failed, and I have apologised 3 times now. I think that's enough even for me. But what a machine. I know it was delivered out to Spain, but to who? We're lovely to know it had a title out there. And then, without any explanation, one of my favourite Italian cars. Molto bene. Absolutely. Molto bene macchina. Bella Italia. Molto bella. Bella. Imagine driving home out to the centre of Florence, having finished your and driving home to your beautiful villa further south. Welcomed home with your children and a swimming pool and parking your 1750 Alpha alongside other golden Italian machines, maybe a Maserati A3 or something like that. Count Nicholas in your dreams. Right. Let's see how Alex gets on with the lovely Alpha. Coming up to saw bench. Speed. Well through the S's. Coming up. Lovely. Very nice. Just a little bit hesitation. Just fractional hesitation. She came quite wide, so the front offside wheel was quite near that grass verge, and I think she just paused fractionally to correct it up before she went down Coventry Castle Straight, I beg your pardon. Martini, right, got the zebra, here we are. So who have I missed? I'm sorry. Hudson Spike Special, which I can tell you at least in the first class 6. Time of 59.14. 59.14. What does that run in? 59. Woohoo! That means he's beaten his handicap of 61.0. Well done. God, he will be excited with that. Right, we've shot now to the Edwardians, so I know we've had the Talbot and the Hudson. Jeremy Flann and the Curtis Special. What I can't tell you is, because here's a new track given opportunities to one or two of us to get better times and beat our respective handicap. If that was a suggestion, poof, there we go. This is where I'm excited. Listen to this note. Whoosh! You're sitting so far back. That long, deep Italian stallion blood red bonnet. Brilliant. Right, let's see how he tackles the S's. Yep, very comfortably. A lot of speed through them. Dampening down. I think he's only got 3 gears, or maybe only 2 actually. Nice wide section, beautifully controlled. Well, that new tarmac is certainly holding the old tyres on the track correctly. Whistling up towards Castle Straight, and his first cocktail of the evening. His time was originally, first time was 52.86. I think my theory is right. The handicap he has was 54.5. So 52.86, he's walloped it. And the Hudson Super 6 was 73, and he's 70.66. So it looks to me as though handicaps are going to be, I think I can use the word smashed, because normally you just tickle them. This time they are being smashed. I wonder if that's going to change as a result of this track being resurfaced, and they're going to have to live with those new handicaps, because that's going to be tough on tracks that haven't been resurfaced, isn't it? I don't know, way out of my pay league, that is. I'll ask Clark of the course. Smart Aston Martin in blue. Of course, he's not able to open up the port and give it a bit of welly. He's got to be careful, because immediately behind him is the clerk of the course. Let's see if he just has a little tickle. No, very good boy. Yeah, very well defined. Well, it couldn't have been a better day for photographs, could it, boys and girls? There's some cracking shots out there, I hope, for you all. One or two people seem to be quietly packing up, going back for, no doubt, a barbecue. What a gentleman. He's taken his hat off to the two ladies. I think that must be the end of that particular batch. Letting those two cars through, which is the Aston and one others. Clearly a replay of one of my favourite cars there, the little Alpha. Thank you, gentlemen, for showing that. What time did young Alex go up with? That's class 6, class 6. No, I've only got the one in there. I'm waiting to see on the screen whether the Guardian is bringing the relative cars back again for us. All seems to be a little quiet on the screen. We're just getting a replay of what happened a little earlier. General highlights. It's actually come up and it says highlights. Commentator, commentate on this. What? For a fifth time? I could be exhausted. Do I have to repeat? Ah, they're coming down. That saved me the embarrassment. As he trickled through Martini. Just a tiny, tiny little bit of sunlight now through the mid part of Castle Straight. All cars happily returning, compete another day. Some of them most certainly with improved handicaps. They'll be tickled pink with that. Might be one or two celebrations in the beer tent, who knows? Well, whoever carried out the work on the track has to be rewarded. It looks magnificent. It's certainly been appreciated by the handicappers. Most certainly the top single-seaters will appreciate this. It was explained to me earlier on by Jolien, who drives Cognac, that the reason the track is so good is that when it's laid like this very recently, it has very large pores, so it gives lots of ability of grip. Over a period of time it becomes smoother, because obviously the number of cars going over and accelerating, and those little bumps and pores, a bit like the skin, are pressed down, and it becomes smoother, and those target times become more and more difficult to stage. So this is, listening to Jolien, this is going to be your best ever, boys and girls, for getting your handicap down. It's the same, I understand, when they polish your cars these days, they put wax or whatever it is into the dimples, and then smooth it over and then give it that final high gloss. So that is a similar comparison to a track as to a car. Thank you, Jolien, for that advice and that information. Well, I hope you've all had a good day as you wander slowly up the hill. You've had your last ice cream, last glass of Vimto going down the hill at speed. Don't drop it, sir.
Attention paddock. Competitors, you are reminded that you will not be allowed to leave the venue until the competition runs have finished and the marshals are off the hill. They've been stood in this sun all day, so I'm sure you can offer a little bit of patience to allow them to get out the sunshine and possibly to the bar, where as soon as we're
Coming up to the line is Jocelyn Jones on the Humber 8, 18, 19, 28. I'm slightly stumped by that, but then that's often the case. I know it's 1,000 and a tickle over cc, so that's fine. Nice start. Nicely held round Wiz. Sun behind now, so there's not glancing underneath the visor. On the shared cars, number 82. Terry McGrath in this lovely Amel car. Just to reiterate the earlier comment made, Amel cars are French, not Spanish. Somebody suggested that I had said they were Spanish. I said the only Spanish bit I've seen today is the Bugatti that has a badge on the side that it went to Spain from Mulside, which of course it was. So the little Amel cars are probably the best racing equivalent of, say, I would say the Bugatti Type 37A, although they were slightly larger in cc, but the two competed very vigorously against each other all over Europe. The Amel cars, I've always expressed the view they look like pure little Swiss mechanical machines, but they are French. Nice tight line coming out of the start line into Wiz. There we go, beautifully prepared. Of course, Ian Patton in the shared is a little later on, so they too. I think it's a case of looking at Ian. You do the spanner work, you borrow it, which is great. So we've got two drivers, two chances to see the lovely, very nice little Amel car. Another shared one, 717, coming down to the line after. 777. Obviously that is in class 2. So crisp, I think that should be correct. So let me have a look in class 8, see if I can give you some definitive information on that for you. Class 8. Yes, I have a whole list of class 8. Jolly good. Right. Who would be suggesting who's got the fastest time? 66.762. Wilfred. Oh, surprise. Well done, Wilfred. Corley. 62.50. That's going to be 60. Ooh, no, I beg your pardon. Stuart Rose and the Austin Curfew. 62.30. Right, so between you two boys. And leading that is Kevin Morton in the Riley 9 Special, 60.89. Well, something to go for, you three boys. Let us see what happens. Right, number 84 coming down to the line is Chris Pickering, the Ulster replica. Current target was 60.0. 84 on his first run was 67.71. But then, to be fair, I think he just first here, so the judgment of his handicap will be made on other climbs elsewhere at the moment. 85 following close behind, Ken Morton, Riley 9 Special. At the moment he is leading the class with a 60.89. So let's see on the screen how he goes and how he tackles this. What I won't be able to tell you is the time after the class is over and I go back and pick up the class. Slightly slow out at the start of the gate. So let's see as he comes through the gate. Nice approach through the S's. Nicely through the first one and very good on the second approach, second part of the S's. Shore bench. Let's see how he approaches it. Pushes out from left to right. Nicely circuit, get all the power on. You can see why his first time was a 60.0. Whistling up towards Martini. Right. David Fennell. Toy. Beautiful little daffodil yellow. Powerful, well driven by his daughter. Daughter not here today. David was part of the council of the VSCC and chairman of the Hillclimb. So he ran it for certainly 5-6 years. Very good storyteller. Does a lot of campaigning for charities. Was awarded Golden Award for that. Very care of other people. Right, let's watch the toy approach. Right, safety through the gate, into the first part of the S's. Whispering through. Slightly in the middle of the road. Up to saw bench, let's see how he tackles that. Yeah, that's good. Good approach, very good approach. Get all that speed going. Just kiss the outside edge, grass and away. Be a good time. Very smooth, very smooth, very smooth, very smooth. Well, it can't be the time of David's first, because it's not even on the sheet. How frustrating. Number 92 coming down to the line. I think that must have been. Who's that on this? Can't pick up. No, I can't pick it up, boy. I'm sorry. miles for the fastest B time. Pops into class 9. Held on to second gear, or first gear, certainly a long way. Maybe that was just to tickle into third, just to steady the car before we get to bunny's leap. Quite often they take that third gear rather than holding into second. It just gives them that little bit of softening as you come up to bunny's leap. 95 to follow, which is David Morley and the Riley Special. David normally is well up in the class order. Let's see what David's first run was. Yeah, 57.77. Greg, surprise, was 51.97. A good 48 from Michael James in the Riley TT Sprite. That's a cracking time. 48.65. Let's see where that sits in terms of his handicap. Yep. His handicap is a 50 dead, so 48.65. That seems to be bearing out the theory that we've already expressed. The track is producing better and better times for individuals against their respective handicaps. Well done. Paul Compton, the Wolsey Aries. I must always refer, I know, to the radiator, because it does look like as though you could put your toast in it on a Monday morning before you go off to the office. I think, however, it is part and parcel of its wonderful history. Followed by 98. Riley Special. This is an Alta Imp replica. Right. Like Greg will have known what his time was. He will have been down there to have a quiet look. So he knows he's got a 51.97. It could be a 51.43, something like that. It's all a little bit cooler out there. Give it a safe run on your last run. I want to see you there for the rest of the season, please. Nice takeoff. Held the gear nicely. Right, let's watch him up the hill. Coming through the gate. Where are you, Greg? Nice approach. Yeah. Gives a lot of speed up. A lot of speed. Very swiftly through the S's. Coming up to saw bench. Nice turn in. Yep. Inside wheel just giving a tiny bit of smoke, kept all that power on. Castle Straight hammering down. Martini through and over the finishing line. I think he would have chipped away on that first run of his. By how much I can't tell you at the moment. Right, here we go, 111. William Irving over the Alvis 1250. Coming up to the line, that is. Wolsey Hornet Special. On goes the supercharger. Nicely geared, changed up to third, and he disappears from our sight, but he appears on the screen. So let's see him happily come through the gate. First part of the complex of S's, swinging through nicely, holding good position on the road. Coming up to saw bench, and we're going to tackle saw bench. Ooh, nice position, very good, very good. Yes, sliding through, kissing the grass on the far left-hand side, coming up, losing no speed at all. Bluebell's nodding in agreement with my commentary there. AC 1670. See if we can whistle down on his handicap at 58.6. Let's see how he gets through. I've lost him at the moment. No, picked him up now. Through the S's comfortably. Just a little dip coming down into saw bench. Dip down and fractionally throttle through, back on the power, into the sunlight very briefly, and then away to Martini. Let's pick him up on Martini. Let's see how he tackles that. As he comes up to it now, dips on the far right-hand side, nicely cool, beautifully done. Lovely sachet right through and over the finishing post. Fast, done. Through them swift and fast. We've got a Nash coming up now. Who's the Nash? Who's the Nash? The Nash. Theodore Hunt, Fraser Nash TT replica. 2 litres, so this could be an ace. I think it's a Bristol engine, the 2 litre. 1.8. I would say it was a Bristol engine there. That's a lot of power. Unless, no, it would have to be. There's one slightly larger with a Bugatti engine in it, which is 3.2 Nash, which was an engine given to Duncan Pittaway, his 21st president. So it was eventually lodged in a Nash. 121 is David Microbert, yeah, with the one Bentley that we have here today. Let's see how he wedges this through the gate. It's a big car to one there. Very comfortably, I would say. That is a large machine to power through there. Right, class 10, we're swiftly getting through. Let me see who is leading in class 10 in their very first round. The Fraser Nash 49.80, no surprise. 10, that is at the moment a solid win in that class. That takes us into class 13. Thick and fast till last they come, or thick and fast until they last. Right. That could be Ben Purnell in that single-seater. No, I beg your pardon, that was the very last of the chosen cars in class 10. So class finish. Now they're going up with the course car to go and collect them and herd them back like sheep. Each of them behaving themselves. Checking all the marshals that they're happy, there's nothing being dropped on the track, no bits of articles or oil, so she can report appropriately. The Eagle Eye of Diana.
It can't be that many more cars to run now, can it?
Wandering home for your first gin and tonic, sir, aren't you? Yep, I thought you were. Aren't they mean in the pub when they give you a double? I mean, it's useless. Nothing like a home gin and tonic. I could see one lonely family on the opposite side of the track. Good viewing point, actually. Clearly a spring on the left-hand side, on the opposite side of the track. You can see a lot of gravel there. You don't want that coming down and washing away the top of your surface. Presumably that then runs into the little stream, which is the overflow from the pond on my right. Hence why all those trees have grown so comfortably there, drawing water out from the stream. I imagine 1 to 2 areas down here have spring water flowing into them. It would be obvious looking at the very nature of this lovely settlement. How peaceful. I bet on a summer evening like today when we all go, we'll see the odd bat flying around. I didn't realise there were so many bats in our history. I was looking at one of the papers and doing a note to the grandchildren. There were 5. Pipsqueak, is it one? Pipstrel, Pipstrel. Pipsqueak sounds more fun. Like barn owls too. How many owls we have in this wonderful country. We've got a pair roosting at home, or nesting, I beg your pardon. Yeah, lovely. Little chunky barn owls, little chunky jobs. I don't know how many eggs they lay, probably 2 or 3, probably no more. Anyway, they're well protected where they are. Listening to Farming News this morning at 6:30, we were up in the Faroe Isles and they were talking about lambs that are being picked up by both sea eagles and white-tailed eagles. And they were introduced maybe 15 years ago, and of course, quite correctly, they proliferated. I think there are now 22 pairs. And obviously in their habitat they have no hostile predators, other than, of course, the farmers who breed their lambs and then see them being struck by those enormous talons and taken off, but quite correctly they can't do anything. So it's a difficult balance, that one is. I don't know whether you get compensation from the government. I suppose you've got to record how many lambs you may or may not have lost through predators. You just imagine the form you have to fill out. You'd probably give up, actually, wouldn't you? I can't be bothered to go through 20 note pages saying, and photographs that I didn't see the bird, but I've got a loss of a lamb. Anyway, all safely home. That's class 10 and 8 and possibly a little bit of 7, the double drivers. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for providing the sport of your magnificent cars. You notice the drivers wave and say thank you to the marshals. Oh, David, that's a very good wave. That's almost a royal wave. Yes, oh, very much a royal wave. I don't remember seeing him in Westminster Abbey a fortnight ago. Maybe he was tucked up on one of the back benches with the other two princes. I'll probably get sued from America for that comment, won't I? Oh, well, never mind. Nash looks completely right, doesn't it, in terms of configuration? It's a nice shape. You can see how successful they were. It just works as a car. Very elegant, like it. Yeah. Take one home, put it in the garage, please. Right, that would suggest that we now should be looking to welcome Class 13, which is the pre-41 racing cars up to 1100. Let me find that for you. Class 13. Let's have a look. Who is splitting the difference here? Let's have a look. I got a couple of 50. Oh, I got a 55. 55 is Granny. Well done, Gary. 55.35. David Hubble in the Ulster. Ooh, that's a tight time. 53.58. That's in the shared one. Let's have a look. 135. Well, his handicap is a 58.5. Can't be 53.80. So even I'm questioning the mathematics of that improvement. Well, let's put it on that first run, a 53.80 for David Hubble. Then we've got Gary Clare and Granny, 55.35. And then the others are also ran with regarding their respective good times, but not catch-up times for a class win. So we'll wait and see. Where are they, boys and girls? The sun is beginning to drop a little bit. What time are we? 20 to 6. Here is the shared Amilcar in the correct colours, and it is French. The other shared car, which will be Andrew Oliver, in the Riley Special. Two very different blues. One very, very French blue, the other one really a Mediterranean softer blue. Skies and the sea that we'll be able to see in a few weeks' time when we all go down to Monaco. All right, let's see how the car tackles the gate. Nicely through, tiny little bit of smoke. I suppose this is French, I should say it's Gauloise. That distinctly French whiff. Happily through the S's, coming up to shore bench. Nice turn in. Yes, straightened her up, get the power going. Little bit of lean towards the green grass and the bluebells and away. Waiting for the green light. Here we go, bread. Heartbeat going up for the driver. Revs going up for the car. Are we off? Nope. Nope, yep. He's saying even the marshals say, why isn't it green? He's safely through. Yeah. Here we are. Oh no, red line, red flag. Where did he stop then? No. Can't help you. I thought he'd gone through Saw Bench. He certainly went through the final martini. So where did he disappear to? Pause. Anyway, red flag. Hence why that was such a long wait on the red. We do not need this hesitation at this time of evening. La 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 la. Whistle, flags in, red flag tucked away. We'll now wait for the green, holding him gently. And we've got to follow is the other shared machine of 93. Francis. Sorry to keep you there, Charlotte. How'd you do in your first ride, Charlotte? Let me have a look for you. Charlotte Boyer, Charlotte. 62.8. Good time. I didn't sound surprised, I just said a good time, okay. This is the shared time with Mrs. Lorico. Always a very well prepared Riley, this. Greg is normally slightly faster, but then he's slightly more aggressive with regarding the action that we see on the respective corners. Barbara's first time was a 66 point. My husband is a 59.7. But you're out to enjoy it, and she does. That's good. Husband and wife enjoying sharing a car and sharing their excitement with us. So thank you both. 132 on the line. Now we have correctly gone into class 13. 3-2 is Rick Pierman, Austin 7, up on the line. Whereas Ben Purnell's just gone off in a single-seater Austin 7. Well, they're both single-seaters, I think. Well, maybe not. Maybe you've got to be a very small. I don't know. Yes, you might. Might be very small. Oh, that's a cracking engine note. 132, class 13. Let's move to class 13 for you all. Class 13. I think Greg is going to be some difficulties. Right. 135 coming up in the second. 135 with Chris Hubble. Peter Loxton on with the little Austin Fiat. You only occasionally see the little baby Fiat engine in these cars. Actually, it's a very dependable machine, actually. So using the chassis of the Austin, then popping a little Fiat baby in it. I think you could tweak it actually a little bit, probably more than some of the Austins. Worth talking to him on that. Certainly 134. Yeah, 67.11. Six, which is John Wiseman in the Nat. Doesn't give much around your body in terms of body shell, does it? You're exposed on a cold wind day. Again, one of those wonderful English specials. There we go. Walloping chain. There we go. And firing up, followed by 140. Gary Clare, who, as we stand at the moment, would be the class leader. See what comes up in front of us at the start line on the green. See what Gary's figure is in a second. His first time was a 55.35. So let's pause for a second. 150 coming up to the line, which is Annette Whittle in the lovely Lagonda Rapide. This is the slightly, they also had an 1100, didn't they? But a lot of people changed them to slightly bigger, chunky 1500cc. But I think originally they mostly had the 1300 engine. This gave them a little bit more power. Nice takeoff, Annette. Nice gear change. Approaching Bunny's Leap and track, well done, turning nicely in. Very good approach. Yep, Mum can go home very happy with that. I think she will have improved her first run, would be my analysis of that. Let me have a look. I've 62.19, 62.19, 62.19, 62.19. 154. Red flag out for whatever reason. There's been a slight situation. There'll be a slight hold up, I think, for a little while. Patrick Edwards, again frustrated with regards to coming down to the start line as he was earlier on. So the course car will quietly go up and resolve. Cadwell Park race meeting on Sunday 18th of June. I think, without doubt, that has to be certainly my favourite track in the whole of the UK. They call it the Baby Nürburgring, which it probably most likely is. And it will play host to the club's celebrated Dick Seaman Trophy race meeting, boasting the full eclectic mix of pre-war and post-war racing machinery. Practice sessions will be in the morning with of course a full race programme following lunch. I know it's a long way, but golly, it's fun. It's a cracking track. It's beautifully, beautifully looked after. Where would you stand? I suppose start and the finish, watching them coming up over the hill, and then going down to those wonderful series of bends. 1, 2, 3, and then a long right-hander as you drop down then towards the start and finish. I mean, that's got to be exciting for anybody. I went round there with Garato years ago in his Type 35B Bugatti, and it was on a practice day. Oh no, it was practice, that's right, before the race, when you were out to do that. Or, beg your pardon, the clerk of the course gave me permission just so I could understand how the track worked. And we went round 3 times, and then I said, but don't you drive this a bit quicker than that on this? And he smiled, he said, yes. I said, well, try and show me. And golly, was that exciting. What a driver. Woof, what fun. What fun. And then I was taken round by... Oh, that's right, I was taken round a second time. In Patrick. Patrick had an Austin Healey 3000. Mind you, it didn't look like a 3000. I mean, it was just beautifully modified. And he took me around in that, and of course that was a completely and utterly different experience. Again, handled by a superb pilot. So I was very privileged by both, but I have to put out the comment, I do select who I go round with. Anyway, prior to the afternoon event itself, just to make sure, I went round myself 3 times in a Porsche I had then, a 911. Went round, and as you know, the little tail fin comes up at, I think it's 71, 72 miles an hour. Anyway, I finished my 3 laps, came in, lots of laughter. They said, what speed were you doing, Nick? I said, 28, 30 miles an hour. I didn't want to press on the right-hand side of that car at all. I said, I do have admiration for all of them. So yes, put Cadwell on your list. It's the second race meeting that we have within the VSCC, first one being Silverstone. So you've got that on your event. We've then got I I suppose then we lead into, is there nothing in end of July? Well, we've got the Jewel of the Crown, which thank you very much, it is, thank you, Prescott, and that is your 5th and 6th of August. I mean, some people just arrive for the picnic or weekend, I don't think cross over the line, but that doesn't matter. We've got some new champagne. We're going to be supplied with new champagne this year. Our own nice beers. Full open clubhouse. As you know now, we've got that with underneath our ownership and our ability to run it correctly. Nice photograph showing through the S is coming up to Rolt Corner in a Bugatti. Yes, well done. As they say, use it, drive it, love it. Young members in competition, that is what all today is about. Boys and girls under 30. And we've been provided with a very special prize today, which I think I will probably be asked to award later on. And in addition, I understand you've been very spoilt with regard to your application and your costs for today for entry by the founder of this wonderful hill climb. The Bonham Christie Trophy will be handed out tonight. This was introduced in 2022 and it's awarded annually to the driver under 30 who achieves the fastest time on their handicap at the Wiscombe Park Hillclimb. Mrs. Bonham Christie decided in 2023, as I said, she would also like to extend her generosity, and it is generosity, as well as the annual trophy that she will be awarding this year. She's sponsored your entry fee, so I think a small curtsy from you girls and a small bow from you boys would be well received, well received. So, as the brochure said, we are overwhelmed with that generosity and kindness. And in addition, of course, it greatly supports the track today and the use of cars, whether borrowed, stolen from mum and dad's barns or whatever, and I would thank you enormously for that, enormously. There's a very good, on one of the latter pages, more on marshalling, event stewarding with Steve Jones. As it says, get involved and come along and learn how it is done, enjoy it. Join your favourite hill climbs or sprints or racing. Learn about it and get involved, and your duty will be increased as you learn. And who knows, like our start, marshals today, off to Europe in a few weeks' time. Both at the Grand Prix, Le Mans, and the Historique. I mean, what fun. The club's been awarded the Sustainable Club of the Year, and this is something we're all delighted with because both the VSCC and their council or committee, as well as us at Prescott, were very aware of where we should be promoting and looking to care for both our environment, the clubs respectively represent, and taking care of our environment, particularly with regarding the concerns that both have been expressed nationally and internationally. So both of us have incorporated the enormous talent of one of your members to significantly look at the carbon emission and to bring with it, you have already done as a forefront in your action within historic motorsport, and you were awarded this year by our governing body the Sustainable Club of the Year. So 2022, congratulations and well done. We're leading up to that at Prescott, the Bugatti Owners Club, with the guidance of the individual that you have provided to us too, so we're on the same course. And I think that is an admirable initiative of clubs. caravan loved event pots. You just don't know what to do with them. Bring them along to the club any event or pop in for a visit with Topo, our pot supplier, and they will recycle them. Well, I've got many in my collection. I think I've got about 2. But many of you got many more. One small, tired little boy being taken up the hill by his mum. I bet I could bring a smile to his face if I said she was bringing him up for an ice cream. But no, Mummy said, no, don't even say that. Maybe a glass of milk? Oh, lovely. Oh, yeah, you're on. I'll join you, boy. It's on the final page on 30 and 31. It's Fix It Again, Tom, which is that meet the winner of the 1927 Fiat 509, which was sponsored by Haggerty. That's a cracking good idea, too. And you're doing the same for the Morgan three-wheelers, I noticed, too. Putting the scraps and bits and pieces together, saying, right, kids, build it. You've been given it at a sensible capital sum. Catch the bug, build it, race it, hill climb it, enjoy it, and contribute to your club. We'd love that. We'd love that. I love it. It says, spread on the floor of the warehouse of Brightwell's auctions, where Parkin runs the classic motoring department. The Fiat occupied half a dozen different pallets. The parts are scattered across a selection of bags, boxes and containers. You certainly need to apply a degree of imagination to visualize it as a running car. And Lee admits this created a certain amount of amusement amongst his friends. I said to them all, I've won a car, and they all laughed. Then they saw the photograph of the box of bits. He said, a very big, broad smile stretching across his face. But the next thing they said was, when it's done, can you take us out for a drive? So we look forward to seeing that as and when you've given caretaking thought. I see there's much discussion on which body shape you're going to put. 509s wore 2 or 4 door touring bodywork, or a slightly racier sports coach look as fitted in 509S, known as the Retief Special in period. 509 had a skiff type rear body. I suppose one gives the opportunity for 4 people, and the racier sports work just for 2. I don't know. You might squeeze a small Italian bambino in the back, I suppose. Well, you could do that in France and Italy. You probably couldn't do it in England, could you? I remember going backwards and forwards with my kids from London in a Capri 3000, and I think they put the Carricot in the back, and that was it. We drove up the motorway back to Birmingham. Right, the boys and girls are coming safely home, which is good. And we wait for the next class. It is 6 o'clock, so I imagine our providers are looking carefully at timing. I wait instructions as to where we are going, but I can see one little single-seater Austin waiting over there, but I haven't heard them call yet for anybody else. Patrick's getting used to this, pushing it back up the hill, so it starts first time for his run. Never mind, Patrick, very good for the calf muscles. Early morning Pilates to put on a roller underneath each calf roll it, and he'll find takes all that nasty pain out. Okay, yep, I'm going forwards, he says with his finger. Still red, so wait till it's green. Not that you can overshoot it. Might be fun, wouldn't it? I wonder what time he'd do then. No, mustn't introduce naughtiness. Where are we? 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 He's suggesting the course car is just coming down. So wait a second, Patrick. Track all clear. Ready to roll. Right, Patrick's on a roll. I think he's going to come now, I doubt. We've got 154 first. Hardly turned a wheel before it fired with you, Patrick. Well done. Yes, Mum, I think the likelihood of going down to that pushchair with your son could be an interesting ride. Right, we've got the three-wheeler Morgan slotting in. That two cars hesitating at the earlier start of that incident. Then followed by Patrick. Gary's nicely lined. Just crushing the outside of the grass on the bridge. Patrick coming up to the line, double checking. He's got some sweet brakes, very smartly stopping on the line. Let's see what 52.47 from Gary. Patrick is away. Lovely, gave it a real nudge coming out whiz. Total commitment. Right, let's watch him go through the gate and through the S's. Let's see a real Nash performing. Lovely whoosh, there he goes. A real sachet through the S's, very swiftly through. Good line coming in to saw bench. I would say that was a better time than his first. I would say that's going to be a 0.23 off that original time. Let's see when it comes up on the clock. Where are you, Thomas? Come on. Where is it? I missed it. I do apologise. First time was 48.20. Michael James and that Riley Cotton special was 48.40. That's pretty sharp from young Michael James. Good for you. car's performed well under your tutelage today, has it not? 158 Cobden is a 51.9. Yep, 51.59, so 48. Last of the doubles. 135, 7135. David Hubble, Augustus replica in class 13. Well, David has the opportunity here of squeezing to Gary Clare. Taking the class, most certainly. Now 161, which have just leaked over onto class 15. 161 is Richard Wiseman, the Bugatti Type 35. This is the unsupercharged, the classic 226. Julian Harrison in the AC Gian Cognac. We're now class 16. Let me find the times for you in class 16. Class 16. Sorry, I have nothing on class 16. But let's put it between the three. Jolyon, Ed and Baxter. David will be slightly slow off the line in the ERA because we know we can't, on the pre-selector, pick up first. But that doesn't matter, it's just wonderful sound. Listen to that 2-litre supercharged Riley engine. If you come to Prescott next weekend, remember I got 5 of them at least, including Victor Riley, son of, and the BRMs. Nice takeoff, Ed. Alright, let's come up on the screen and watch these two boys. I'm going to pick up. I missed Jolyon. Ed coming in to the gate, through the gate. Oh, what a tight on that second part of S's. That was really shaving it through. Right, coming up to saw bench, moving over to the left-hand side, nicely through, beautifully held, a little waggle in the final tail, grip and away. Remember he was doing 77 plus, we said, going down the straight. So what time we're coming up to? Let's move. And what have you done, Ed? Nope, hasn't given it to me, I missed it. Alright, 48.76, 48.76, 48.76, 48.76, 48. Yep, so he's broken his handicap, which is 49.50, so it would seem to be all three of boys have missed it on that. Here we are, Humphrey, at the start line. Remember, he has got a second gear. His first is slipping, so he'll really be able to put the power on when he comes out of a whiz corner. But it doesn't matter, just listen to this ERA. Listen. Magic. Oh. Nick Mason produced a record, do you remember some years ago? And it has the ERA on it and the BRM. Between the two of them, I know the BRM goes up to 16,000 revs per whatever, but if you have a difficult day at the office, put that record on you and go out and think life's good again. Hey, Humphrey, well done. Right, Julian, what you going to do? Show us what you can do up there. Take it carefully. I've got a long season ahead with your lovely car on the track. Always beautifully prepared. As I said earlier on, he's taking 70 plus Bentleys across to France for the Historique. He's a major contributor at everything at the conference. He's got a son marrying, I think it's the 11th, 12th of June. He's got a lovely house on the Thames, and he's a really nice individual and driver. Away she goes. Like, let's watch him go through, then I'm following up that with a Connaught. Where are you? Come on. Oi, nicely committed. Nicely committed. Not quite as tight a line as Ed, oddly enough. Coming up to Sawbench. Let's have a look. Tighter line than Sawbench for him though, because he's got a little bit more traction and a little nicely through and a lot of power going up the straight. Right, got the Connaught. I always think they look such a pretty, they look like a cigar, don't they? Green, magnificent piece of machinery. Well, they weren't totally successful to start with, but what the hell is in motor racing? It takes a while. Nice line through, S's, Sawbench, whistling through. Nicely, that little yellow nose sneaking through Sawbench, and then woof, a lot of power going right up towards Martini. Let's see where he finishes on Martini. Here we come, coming up. Lovely shot of him directly in front of me. And then I got the diminutive little Cooper following. Whoa, lovely sachet straight the way through. Well caught, well caught. And what have we got now? We've got the Jaguar 120 with a split windscreen. Of course, at the end of the day, you quietly take your numbers off, decals off, and you drive it home, don't you? Hold it into first gear, that's it. And then that lovely clunk as you get into second gear in a Jaguar. Yeah, where's it? Oh, there it is. Found it. Got it. I've got the Fraser Nash Le Mans. I know we have safety with a little rollover bar, but it just tends to spoil just that beautiful shape of that particular car. A couple are out there for sale at the moment, but I think you're talking quite big, chunky sums of money. But at least they can't take it away from you eventually. A quick touch of the brakes, how interesting, just a little snippet. 53.27 for the car before, and then I think we have our final Cooper T56. Nice engine note. Nice takeoff. Second, third, holding it in the third, coming up to the gate. Yep, safely and swiftly through. Last section of the S's, carefully behind him. Approaching, no sun now at all on our upper parts of the hill. Into Sawbench. Nicely curved round, beautiful, kept all the power on. Very comfortable. Very nimble piece of machinery. Of course, cars down there, going up to collect the batch, because that would suggest there are no double cars to be shown. we have to presuppose in class 60 we have our FTD, and I will wait to be invited as to all the other respective winners are out of today's. So I think the nicest thing is to invite you now to the bar, which is open, and we are probably about 15 minutes or so before they make their decisions as to who are the winners today. Well, they're all winners really, actually, and we'll celebrate those appropriately and correctly in front of the marquee. So go and ask for a cider or a beer or whatever. So thank you, marshals, for looking after everybody here today. It's been quite a long day. Thank you, boys, for been running the machines in here, the screen and the other equipment that we've had. Thank you for the people who've come in and given me help today with regards to the commentary. I appreciate that. I'm sorry it was only me today. John Staveley has rung up already and apologised for sorry for letting you down. But it was a breakdown on the car M5 yesterday, so he missed his dinner with his mates last night, and he missed seeing you all today and giving you the pearls of wisdom that he would do. So I would apologise if mistakes have been made. That's the very nature of me. But I've enjoyed it. So thank you for entertaining and looking after us. And I'll give the appropriate prizes in a few minutes' time, or of course for an hour's time. But in the meantime, publicly thank you for coming here. Take a very safe drive home, and I look forward to welcoming you at other VSCC events throughout the summer. So thank you. Good night.
Motorsport UK TV, the home of unmissable British motorsport video. Bringing you all the action from the British Championships. Taking you behind the scenes. Giving you top tips to succeed in every discipline. Showcasing the best equipment. And much, much more. Visit motorsportuk.tv today and make sure you never miss a moment.